At Online Powerlifting, we have specific rules for you when you are filming the lift. Of course, you filming the lift is really important for us to be able to accurately judge and make sure you are indeed doing the lift officially. So here's a couple of key rules to make sure that you follow so that your lift is accepted. Number one, make sure that it is one single continuous filming. We don't want to see any edits, any cutting. You can crop on either side, but it has to be a continuous streaming recording so we make sure that there's no funny business going on. Second thing is you do not edit your film, you do not add filters, you do not do anything else to make it look cool. It is just the standard, unedited, unprocessed film that we will be able to see. It's also important to make sure that you send us a link to the film. Do not send us the hard digital file itself. We are not storing all of that stuff. So you will send us a link to something like YouTube, Instagram, Facebook, anywhere where it's easy for us to access, and we will simply post that link, click on it. Our judges need to be able to see it easily. So do not send us the actual digital file. You send us a link that you have already posted up. You need to film the entire lift from start to finish. You also need to film the entire barbell. So make sure you're getting the ends of the barbell in the camera, right? Do not narrow in so much that you might see on some typical social media posts where you can only see a portion. We need to see the entire thing. And when you are finished with the lift, if you are wearing any sort of clothing that might be covering moving joints or is baggy, you need to make sure that you move in such a way to prove that you don't have knee wraps or a squat suit on or something like that. Simple, some arm circles, moving your body around, taking off your shirt, whatever you need to do, but prove to us that you are not wearing any illegal apparel. With online powerlifting, it's possible that there might be some doubters. So to face that head on, we have 3 different options for you when you submit your lift in order to verify it. First is just send us that digital file so we can actually see that you performed the lift with the perfect competition standards. It was clear and obvious that you did it correctly. But if you think there's going to be some haters out there, you can verify your lift. You will do that by either stepping on the scale immediately after you lift, keeping the camera running, of course showing us what the scale is, and on our website we'll have a link of what the possible valid scales are that are acceptable. So that's one way to verify your lift. You can also verify your lift by taking the weights that you lifted and literally put them on the scale as well. If you want to go double verification, which is our highest standard, you will do both of those things. You weigh yourself, your body weight after the scale to prove your body weight. Then you take all the weights that were on the bar, put them on the scale as the camera is rolling to prove that you did indeed lift the actual weight that you are claiming. And that is our highest standard, double verification. It's going to be tough to doubt the authenticity of that lift. Now, in our technical rule book, we are going to provide you with guidelines as to how to best film each lift so that we can judge it accurately. But our number one rule is it clear and obvious that you did the lift correctly? So if you don't follow those guidelines, but it is still clear and obvious that you did the lift correctly, you will get credit. But do yourself a favor, read through some of those guidelines. For example, when you squat, ideally you want to be down and at the side so we can see the right depth. But make sure that it's very obvious when you submit that lift that yes, that lift was performed to competition standards. So we have guidelines to help you, but it is not an immediate DQ if you do not simply follow every one of those guidelines. If you want to make our job even easier, you are allowed and in fact encouraged to submit multiple angles of your lift. Indeed, that's required on the strict curl. We need to see it both from the front and from the side. But you may do that on any lift. So if you want to really prove that yes, you hit that squat depth, no, you didn't lean back too far in the clean and press, feel free to submit multiple angles and multiple videos of your lift to further prove your case. That's totally fine, and indeed that's encouraged. When you submit your video, make sure that you submit on the video all of the required personal identification information. So we need to know your age, your body weight. We need to know how much weight you were lifting. Most importantly, clarify the actual weight on the bar. So we need to say, okay, I had the bar plus one 45-pound plate plus a 25-pound plate plus a 10-pound plate for 205 pounds. You're welcome to submit in either pounds or kilograms. So be sure that you fill out all of the required personal identification information, which will be on our site, hopefully very clear for you when you submit your lift. Our goal is to make it as easy as possible, but we do need to require certain things in order to make these lifts official. So the hope is that by following these guidelines, you'll have successful attempts and you will be able to get credit for your lifts. That's what we want, but it needs to be clear and obvious that you did your job.